Time to be more.
And then he's facing Angelico, who's accompanied by Jack Evans.
H2O.
Yeah, and
take me off. Yes.
Wow, that was so great. That was so great. First time ever we're doing this, right? This is the big show. Big show we have here because we're taking over everywhere. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another welcome to another edition of Unpopular Reviews. I'm the executive consultant, joined today by Bad Guy Jack as the co-host, and join us special guest, first time ever on UPR. Congratulations, Niko Extra. Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, it's our pleasure after what I think was a very phenomenal episode of WWE Friday Night Smackdown. Most people might not agree with me, but I thought it was really good. Solid from beginning to end, which is going a very, I mean, let's just be real. The wrestling product as a whole, in my opinion, has been kind of weak over the last couple of weeks, if not months, year. But this episode was solid. Head off by, of course, the, hey, Charmaine, I'm here too. Head off, of course, by none other than the big dog, Michael Licata. Hey, what's up, guys? From your Smoking Skull and 24/7 champion. What's going on? And EST of UPR is here, the iconic king. I'm glad your Facebook user. Yeah, his name is Elvis, but he's not registered. Thank God.
He's been doing this for like 94 weeks and still hasn't figured out you need to go.
It's fine. Let him do that. He doesn't have to do that. Well, I guess it's your thing, but I took that feature off. But maybe I should, so I don't have to see his profile picture. People don't want to look at him. But gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? What do we think of Smackdown?
Splendid. I thought it was a pretty good show. I think there was some good spots, some spots that felt a little weak, but no, not a bad show. It wasn't a terrible show. I agree with your how you analyze how wrestling in a whole has been kind of weak. So there's been a lot of things that you're like, that could have been better. But no, I thought it was a pretty decent show.
I agree. I think SmackDown in general has been the best show and the strongest show running. And Roman Reigns, his little segments he's pulling here and there with the head of the table and the beatdown at the end really kind of ended the show on a positive note for me, even though it's probably not positive for Kevin Owens. But at the end of the day, it was a very strong show. You had Bayley and Bianca Belair. You had a little Street Profit action. I mean, it was a solid show from head to toe, as it's been for the last really like 3 or 4 weeks, in my opinion.
The interesting thing about it is that I felt like I saw a mugging. I felt like I saw an assault. The way they whooped Kevin Owens' ass from beginning to end of the show at the end. But I actually posted this in the Wrestling Civilization, as well as what's going on, Eric, as well as Yep, I Like Wrestling. It is really, really important to – oh, God. It's really, really important that Kevin Owens is in this feud because what's going on, Matt? It makes it feel more important. Kevin Owens has that charisma to really make this work, and I'm happy to see him in this feud. Even Jey Uso is making it look good.
I mean, Jey Uso is main evented like 5 times in the last couple of months, and that's something no one ever saw coming. And it's pretty cool to see a guy like him get an opportunity again, because when his brother gets injured, and when he said that little speech about, which one are you? That shit was real. Like, he meant that, because that's how people are. And even I think that, like, which one are you? So I feel really bad for him. But at the end of the day, he's gotten an opportunity of a lifetime to step up, and he really has stepped up to the occasion. And like, everyone knows who Jey Uso is now. and he's a viable contender that could main event. If they had house shows and shit, it could be like Jey Uso versus, Jeff Hardy or something any time of the year. I know he's on Raw, but you know what I mean? It could be that any time.
And also too on Jey Uso's part, like everything you said, he's also been able to hold his own, because if he wasn't able to do that, he would definitely been removed from this main event, regardless of who's the cousin, who he is the cousin of, and everything like that. So I think he had been doing a phenomenal job in this main event. He's been a really good henchman, even though there's been moments where he kind of looked foolish to me, like times where he'll run in the ring and then you saw him laid out on the ground and everything. But he has played a really good henchman for Roman Reigns.
And that's pretty much what he is, as he tried to attack Kevin Owens multiple times. But I mean, let's talk about this match at TLC.
But tonight,
main event. Tonight they were giving each other back and forth. I mean, Kevin Owens is holding his head in the trainer's room. Jey Uso decides to hit him up a little bit more times. I mean, henchman is right. Do we see Jey Uso make an appearance at TLC in this main event?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's going to be in there. Matter of fact, I see him taking more of a big bump than Roman. Like, I see him being the one. Not to say Roman won't go through a table, but like something big, and he's going to be the one taking the bigger bump than Roman. So definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Roman doesn't win clean anymore. Those days of him being the tough guy that battles it out, those days are ending, and now he's a guy who cheats, lies, cheats, and steals. No offense to Eddie Guerrero. His way to the end. You know what I mean? That's what he's doing at this point, and he's going to do any means necessary. And Jey Uso is going to be an intricate part, and Jimmy Uso will be back any minute, if not now. So we should be seeing that too. I could see definitely some kind of bump off the top of a ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, something.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Niko. Do you think that possibly when it comes to the Usos coming back, are they the ones to take those tag team titles off of the Street Profits?
Yeah, definitely. I see Usos holding gold along with Roman. I mean, Roman's not losing the belt for a long time. It's going to be a WrestleMania main event where he drops the belt. Julie,
Maybe not even then.
Yeah, I mean, like Roman's going to have the belt for a long time, and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso holding the belt creates a faction that people are going to respect, and that's what wrestling's all about, is having this tough faction that is unstoppable. And I don't see anything wrong. If you want to talk about someone kicking someone in the nuts and winning, I mean, Triple H did it for 10 years straight.
Maybe even longer.
He did it with China. He did it with Stephanie McMahon. He did it his whole fucking career. So there's no, and I don't know if you can curse on here or not, but sorry if that just happened. But you know what I mean? He did it his whole time, and there's nothing wrong with it. No one looks back and goes, man, he sure cheated his way to the top. They go, that guy's a legend. And they're going to say the same thing about Roman.
Well, they also will say that he was a heel. That's what Triple H wanted to be. I saw an interview where he talked about it last week. He just preferred playing the heel, which a lot of wrestlers do. But let's go ahead and transition over. I hope your daughter gets something good for Christmas. Thank you very much. She got me as a father. Both of them got me as a father, so that's really good. Head to table or like head of embarrassment. Julie, I'm interested in hearing why you say that. So could you put that in the comments? I want to know why you said head of embarrassment. Let's talk about the chat team that way. Let's know about
how long have you been watching wrestling? I've been watching wrestling for almost 40 years, my whole life.
Don't answer that. I'm pretty sure he's asked you that question plenty of times before. That's what that man does.
I gotta answer all the fans, man.
What a baby face. Good job. I like that.
Well, I'm a heel. We don't answer that. Tag team titles. Are you taking these SmackDown tag team titles or Raw tag team titles, for that matter, seriously at this point?
The Raw tag team titles lost their respect for me when Street Profits and War Raiders had their best of 29 challenge where they did like spear. I don't even know what they were doing. They were like throwing axes and then they went golfing. Like that shit was so silly to me that I miss.
I enjoyed it
most as AEW, and what AEW's done as a tag team. I know this show is about SmackDown, but they've created a really great tag team where you believe any tag team could potentially be the one tag team. And right now it's kind of obvious that Street Profits and there's just not a lot of competition for these guys. They're pairing people up. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Like, what is that shit?
I wanted to say they had a really great tag team match tonight. I thought it was one of the better ones, but I do agree. I think the thing is I don't take the tag team division so seriously because there's not a list of tag teams that look like an actual tag team. I've always thought that was the problem with this company, where like you said, War Raiders. I think they're a great tag team. That was probably a hit or miss for everyone. Like you said, those segments that they took. I didn't hate those segments, but I could see how Yeah, I can see how you wouldn't like that because you kind of wanted the action, right? You wanted to see the action. Here they are playing Wii Sports and they're throwing
And
axes.
Specialized is a respectable. So I mean, Wii Sports isn't respectable in the
Oh, I love Wii Sports. It's great.
of course, the professional wrestling world. Like, come on.
Mhm. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. But you're saying those segments are hit or miss. I didn't necessarily hate them, but it did drag on a lot longer than it needed to. But
Yes.
yeah, it just dragged on a lot, and that's the thing. I think that's the thing. The segments weren't bad, but it dragged, and when stuff like that drag, and wrestling fans, I don't think our attention spans are that long. So when something drags for that long, you just can't help but go, "Oh, that is a terrible." So no, their tag team, and they got great tag teams like Street Profits. Like I said, they had a great tag match. Can't wait to talk about it. But when you got tag teams like Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, I've always said Bobby Roode should be a single guy. Dolph Ziggler, I mean, I think he's just happy to be here. Nothing wrong with that. But there's no sense of like tag teams that make you go, oh, this tag team could take the belts off. And if they do, it's just a swerve, if you will.
I mean, I just Google Bobby Roode. He was born May 11th, 1977, making him 43 years old. You know what I mean? His days of being a legitimate heavyweight contender are over. He had his glory days when he was doing beer money back in Impact Wrestling. So, Dolph and Bobby, I guess, isn't a great example. But at the end of the day, my answer is no, it's not respected right now. And who are the SmackDown champions?
Street Profit. But hold on. Niko, can I actually, when you said his
stupid switch or Rooney, though, they didn't even win the SmackDown championships. It's so stupid with New Day. Like, what?
I wanted to ask so much because, like you said, Bobby Roode's glory days was behind. Was it because he's so glorious you had to use the word glory? It kind of made me pop. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist on accident.
You thought that was an accident? Of course, man. 24/7 wordplay. What happened to AOP? That's a really great question.
They got let go.
They both got let go. Right? So, I mean, honestly, if you want to see someone in AEW, ACAM and Razor, whatever their names are going to be in AEW, they would be.
What did anyone think about them?
I don't know. Impact.
What did you think of them as a tag team? Because a lot of people were not fans of them, but I thought they were pretty good.
Oh, they were amazing. They got the best storyline in the world. When you get to go in and dominate every single match and have a 3-minute match where you just do power bombs and shit, it's always awesome. You know what I mean?
The Riot Squad cannot go after the women's titles as long as Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are holding those titles. I mean, when they give up,
Nia's scary good. You know what I mean? Like that's
there's no way. I like Ruby Riott. Liv Morgan, I'm not as big a fan as other people are, but I mean, I see potential in her, but they can't match up with Shayna and Nia Jax. It's just not believable. So I wouldn't even do that. But as far as the tag team titles go for SmackDown, I respect the champions, but the division not so much right now. Yeah. I think Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode are a good hand. They are former tag team champions, but just like you said, we don't look at them as tag team champions. We look at them as single competitors that were just thrown together. Dolph Ziggler is just, he just plays his part right now. I mean, the man is one of the highest paid athletes in wrestling, and he's just accepting the role. They just say, here, kid, do this, and he just goes out and does it. But Dolph Ziggler is still a phenomenal hand. Man, it's 40 years old. Doesn't look like he's 40.
And that's the crazy thing. Like, he's still, like, when I was watching his match, I sit and say, he's really good. I don't want to take that away from him. He's really, really good. But the way that he's been booked for years, it just makes me don't care. It just don't make me care. That's about it. But I agree. He's a great hand. He's someone, if that's like the first person you face, you're going to have a good match because he's going to bring it out of you.
Sorry, trying to read all the comments, keep up with everything.
Mm-hmm. Seth's daughter is beautiful. I didn't look at Seth and Becky's daughter. Didn't care. It's their business, their family.
I haven't seen her face. I'm sure she's pretty, though.
I saw she existed. That's what I saw.
I know I posted a picture of them holding a 2-year-old, and everyone went crazy saying that baby was really big because they're so gullible.
Oh, you mean that picture where Becky's just holding a baby or something like that? And
a toddler, and everyone's like, Jesus, that baby's big. I'm like,
the internet. What a scary place. What a scary place, man.
What's next, consultant? Give it to us.
Yes, please.
All right, next thing we're going to talk about is the maturation, in my opinion, the confidence, in my opinion, and correct me if you disagree, of course. Well, don't correct me, but tell me that's your opinion. Carmella, I don't. Carmella, in her escalation, her progression as a character inside of the SmackDown Women's Division, do you see her as a top contender? I don't believe she's going to take that title off of Sasha Banks, but do you see her as somebody who's going to be a top contender going forward?
Top contender. I feel like she's the flavor of the month right now. Character-wise, when you ask about character, I think she's always been really good as a character, and I think her in-ring work gotten slightly better. I don't think she's like, and she don't embarrass herself, but character-wise, she's always nailed it. I thought she's always nailed it. The whole Mella's money, all that. She's always been really good at carrying herself as a character.
I was always a fan of Carmella. I actually have her shirt. I bought her shirt. Mella is money. I wore it to a few viewing parties in New York. You must have missed it when you were dreaming up stupid little polls that your fans are not doing well. Don't forget.
You too now. You don't like my polls. First you now, James. Awful.
Honestly, Mella's very marketable. That's why she's been so successful in this world. It doesn't hurt dating Corey Graves, them being together. It really kind of pushes and keeps them together and keeps her on SmackDown and keeps her relevant. But she's not a good wrestler. And when you when I look at women, it's two things. It's three things. You got to be good on the mic, you got to be beautiful, and you got to wrestle. And obviously Sasha Banks, Bailey, Charlotte, those girls got everything. Asuka, I'll put her up. You know what I mean? Those girls have everything. Even Nia and Shayna can be in that category. But Carmella's missing that wrestling. She's more in the Lana, Natty Neidhart. Yeah, I'm going to poke at her again.
Natty, you put Natty in.
She's in that level of mediocre wrestling woman.
You've heard of feuds like me and Rhea Ripley. I ain't got nothing on Niko and Natty. I don't. Natty blocked him. Road Dogg had to defend her. I mean, it was. They had a whole article about how
I called her a jobber and everyone got mad. The whole internet exploded. We're over it though. We're cool now. I'm just saying, like, she's not. But let's be honest. They're never gonna put Natty versus Bailey versus Sasha Banks in the main event of WrestleMania. Natty's there to put Helen over at this point in time. She never really got that moment. She won the belt, but it was never for more than like 60 days. You know what I mean? Like, she never got that title reign like Charlotte's going to get, like Rhea Ripley's going to get, like Bailey gets, like Sasha gets. So she's just another level. And I'm sorry that hurts all the people's feelings, but that's just the way it is. Oh, our feelings are hurt. She put 15 years in. Like, who gives a shit?
Oh, wow. She is the best of all time. She's the most winningest female athlete in all of wrestling. That is Natalya Neidhart. We have to.
You're telling me she's won more matches than the Fabulous Moolah?
Yes,
but that's not. Really? I was gonna say that. That's not even.
Here's the reason why. Fabulous Moolah used to wrestle at least like 2 or 3 matches a year sometimes. That's why she beat Fabulous Moolah.
Right, different time.
Different things going on. Women.
I mean, Natty was their Attitude Era where they did grind and grind, like 5 days a week. So, I mean, yeah, she's won a shitload of matches, but her days she's going to get one more shot at the title for sure. They're giving her that tease. Lana's getting that same push, so who gives a shit at this point?
Wow. Well, I don't care about Lana, but our very own Big Daddy Cool is a big Lana fan.
He's
a huge
Big Daddy Cool, Steve. Yeah.
Carmella has a new entrance. The entrance is good. She has a new manager or whatever you want.
Who that?
Dan Miller. Every single time.
Let me ask you this, guys. Do you think Billie Kay is better than Carmella? That's a great question.
That's a good transition.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Was actually next on my list right here. Billie Kay, I think, is one of the most entertaining people in wrestling right now. Now, her wrestling skills are a little less to be desired. I could put her in the same category that you were talking about earlier, Mr. Extra, but she is very, very entertaining. When she goes, as you can see from my resume, I start cracking up. It's very, very good.
She got a good stick going on. She got a good stick going on. She really do got a good stick. I think when the Iconics broke up, I immediately thought, this is about Peyton Royce. She's gonna be the one. They're gonna push her, and she hasn't been doing anything. I gotta say, on Billie Kay's part, she's been on SmackDown consecutively. She's been on there consistently, and in ring, not her strong suit. But when she's on the mic and she said, "Are you joking me?" and my resume, she does get people kind of to pop and laugh. So she's doing all right. She's doing okay for herself.
When you saw Billie Kay and Peyton Royce together doing their little thing and in the ring, who did you look at and say Peyton is a shining star out of the two, or did you just go?
I think most people did.
I believe I was going to say I did.
You had two moods when it came to the Iconics. Either one, they should not break up, or two, Peyton's the star. Very few people thought it was Billie, including yours truly. But I thought I did see when they took a break and they came back, that Billy looked like she was, she actually got something from it. I wasn't sure about Peyton. And since they broke up, it's been amazing that Billy's the one. Not saying that she's out there like Sasha or something, but it's amazing to see that Billy's the one that's actually taking more advantage of it, whereas Peyton Royce is stuck in a tag team that everybody was going off about for 1 week with Lacey Evans, and then you barely see him ever since.
Yeah, that was
as hot as the day is, long, but at the end of the day, she's another one that just lacks that superior wrestling skills, and she'll be in AEW for sure because she's married to the Perfect 10, who's been wrestling.
Who does nothing. So let me can we highlight?
But yeah,
can we highlight a Daniel Miller comment? Like, where's he?
What is that?
Here we go. So you want Nia Botch to possibly end Tessa's career. So here's the thing. This man is a huge AEW market. For some reason, he feels like here at Unpopular Review, you don't give a crap about it.
Is that like Jack Evans or some shit?
That's the embodiment of AEW. But here's when people from WWE go to AEW and they still are just as good as they were in WWE, I laugh. Look at the Perfect 10, as Niko said. How many matches does he get on Dynamite a year, right?
How bad was NXT, man? That shit was so good.
About the same amount of matches as he got when he was on Smackdown or Raw. So I don't want to hear anything when it comes to that. Miro, they're trying to make look like a beast now. But
Miro was so dumb there.
And I even talk about the FTR. FTR was spent like 2 or 3 years crying that they wanted to leave, right? Only for them to go in, win the tag team titles, and lose it in like 2 months, just like they did when they were on Raw and SmackDown. They were former 3-time tag team champions on Raw and SmackDown. So just keep that in mind when you talk about your AEW. And I'm a fan of AEW. I'm more of a fan of AEW than I was last year, to be honest with you. This time last year, to be honest with you. Because I didn't put AEW above anything.
Are we going to AEW? You're going to actually go with us or me? Or
no. I'm not going. No. Let's not go that far. Okay, I don't go to NXT, and that's according to my roommate, 10 minutes down the street.
Right.
So, like,
long as 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So no, that won't be happening. But we'll see after COVID if I. Let's see. Please, I don't want to
Lowe's and worried about COVID at AEW.
They pay me. AEW paid me. I'll think about.
That's a very valid point, man.
Or an AEW Dark, my future wife Casey Lennox was on. So if she tells me to go, I gotta go. Or Jade Cargill is hot too. So I don't know. No, Michael Licata, 24/7 champion, says they're not going to win the women's tag team belts. Let's go from the women's tag team belts to possibly another tag team contenders coming down. I don't know. Everybody thinks they know where the storyline is going to go, but that is the Blue Man's Working Group or whatever the hell he calls himself.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, you're talking about Otis, Kevin James, and Chad Gable. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're going on with this. I think they're going to eventually. Oh, okay.
Come back to that comment.
Okay, so I honestly see this being a feud. There's no legs behind it. Honestly, I just see Chad Gable eventually because he's doing heel things every time Otis does what he says. Why'd you do that? I see a turn coming eventually. I don't know when exactly, but this don't have no legs. This mixed tag, it just has no legs.
Definitely not Otis. I agree with you. 100%. This does not have any legs, but I'm happy to see it because I have always been a fan of Otis, and I am a fan of Chad
Really?
Gable. I'm just happy to see Chad. I've been a fan of Otis since NXT. He impressed me with a one-on-one match he had with Adam Cole. And Otis can actually really go in the ring. They don't let him go to his full potential. He can go in the ring, and I would like to see him actually do something. Do I think he's a world champion or a main eventer? No, I can't say that. But I definitely do think Otis is better than people give him credit for. He can go with pretty much anybody.
No, I was laughing at Niko. You shook his head. No, you shaking your head at what Chris was saying?
Otis is a freaking jobber, dude. He's a big, goofy fucker, man. He's just
Oh my God.
Come on, man.
Jesus.
Think about this. Listen, bad guy.
I'm all
Who
ears.
gets the damn briefcase and then just loses it to freaking Miz because it's not working? It was a mistake that he got the briefcase. It wasn't going to work. They were like, holy shit, what were we thinking? We're not going to put the belt on this goofy bastard. And now they give it to Miz, who's going to cash in on probably Drew at some unfortunate time. I don't even know where he's going to catch him. But,
Well, Miz is my favorite wrestler. A lot of people know that. A lot of people don't know that. But Miz is my favorite wrestler. I don't think he's going to win. I think he's actually going to end up losing.
He's going to catch in and lose, you think?
I think so.
Wouldn't be the first one.
It doesn't make sense for him to take that title off.
I disagree. I think
I would love
for WWE champion.
Do anyone?
I will tell everybody right now, if Miz wins that championship, you might want to block me. That's all I'm saying.
Let me ask this. Okay, so there was a lot of talk when Miz did have the he still got the briefcase, but when Randy Orton was champion, it's almost been 10 years since would anybody would have at that time wanted to see Miz win it at that point, or is it just no one wanted to see Miz with that? Oh, you did. You kind of wanted to see that where
I want to see Miz for the championship. I think if you put Miz,
No, it's cool. I was just gonna say because it seemed like it just seemed like at this time, like no one wanted to see Miz beat Drew, but I was saying around that time when Randy had the title, did people want to see Miz win it because it was like, oh, that 10-year anniversary when he cashed in, or is it just no one wants to see Miz with the championship? But you said
I don't think people want to see Miz with the championship. I would like to see Miz with the championship because I go back. I say this all the time. People agree with me. People disagree with me. I don't care. I'm Chris. But in the years from 2010 to 2020, if you go by some of the top 5 championship runs of any championship belt, right? Miz's Intercontinental run from 2016 to 2017 or 18 was in my top 5. You cannot find a championship reign that was really better than that. And I know Mr. Extra is not a fan of the Miz. That's one of the things we disagree with. Sometimes he's wrong.
Him, man. And here's the thing: honestly, like I watched Real World, the first one, and I remember that dude doing an elbow on someone on a pillow and being like, "I'm going to be a WWE star." And you're like, "Yeah, me too." Because I was a teenager, you know what I mean? I said, yeah, I'm going to be a WWE star as well. Obviously, I'm never going to do that. But he went and did that shit. He went there as a host. They hired him as a host. And he ended up becoming the WWE World Champion, walking in and out of WrestleMania as the WWE. Granted, Cena and Rock had their own storyline going on.
But you can never take that away from him. He was there.
He walked in and out of WrestleMania as the WWE World Champion. Not even Universal. The title, the belt.
I was in Atlanta.
I give a shit about WWE belts. So, like, good for him. You know what I mean? He has his moment. No one can ever take away from it. It's like Jericho when he beat The Rock.
Yep. He'll remind us anyway.
You also have to look at the fact that the
Miz moment you'll never forget. You would never pick Jericho. No one.
Miz is one of the most decorated champions of all time. And when I say that is he won more titles than pretty much any wrestler out there. There's only like 5 wrestlers that won more championships in the WWE than he has. So, I mean, Miz is definitely a Hall of Famer. What happens to the Miz
right now?
Yeah, I agree. He can't go to NXT. That's.
I mean, when his star starts to fizzle a little bit, he'll go down there and put people over like Fandango.
Coach.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. We're talking about SmackDown here.
Let's go to the wrestling main event of SmackDown tonight, which was Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Now, I was interested in seeing the. I know on the UPR Raw edition that Steven has this new thing called angry tweets, because when somebody that's a fan favorite loses, he knows Twitter goes off, and he shows these tweets on air. And I wish I'm not going to steal his idea to bring it here on SmackDown, because in case you did not know, Ron is actually moving to NXT AEW on Wednesdays, and I'll be taking over SmackDown. This is his last one, but I wish I could see the angry tweets with the fact that Bianca Belair actually took this loss to Bayley in a move I thought was a good move, and not just because Bayley's my favorite female wrestler, but because Bianca's been booked to look completely strong, and she does need to take an L. And even in this match, she looked very, very dominant. But Bayley being the veteran and Bianca being a little bit of the rookie, I understood and I thought it was a good move to have her lose in that fashion, because ultimately in the end of this feud, Bianca Belair is probably going to pick up that W.
Yeah, and I also think too in 2020. I mean, right now. The year's getting ready to end. I say in 2021, Bianca is going to have a tremendous year anyway. I think that even and losing to someone like Bayley doesn't even hurt her. I think what was good about this. Here we go.
I'm pulling up the tweets. Let's see what she has. Bianca Belair is a star in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca Belair pulling out receipts on Bayley was great.
Look at this one. Look at this one.
She loses. See, look, Bianca Belair, ladies and gentlemen, fire. She loses, but she still gets the fire emoji, and you know what? Getting the fire emoji is sometimes better than winning.
I mean, During the match, Bailey definitely put Bianca over to a certain extent.
She did.
Because she took a beating most of that match. I
I'm
think
gonna say positive feedback. Yeah, he's the kind of guy that'll find the shitty tweets, but at the end of the day, that was overall positive feedback for Bianca.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I follow 10,000 people, so I get a good dosage of what's going on there.
Thoughts on CM Punk possibly signing with AEW Punk versus Omega? I think that would be a turning point for AEW. I think it will be a good move for CM Punk, and I think it will be a good move for Kenny Omega. I'm not a huge fan of Punk. I think he's a little overrated. And
CM Punk, born October 26, 1978, 42 years old. Like,
if he's going to come back, he's
talent, dude.
I love how you have these stats prepared. Like, that's great. You got the year.
Yeah, I was about to say he's probably asking Google. You know, he's not asking Siri. That tramp.
I'm Googling it as we ask.
No, it's more Alexa. Alexa's kind of a tramp, but no one asks.
You know what? I had this talk with my coworkers yesterday. I said it was Google, Alexa, Siri, then Cortana. Those are your four
I'm Google all day. I love Google. My whole house is set up with her.
Google's the best. What's going on, C? How you feeling?
Hey, y'all.
All right, so that's Bianca Belair.
I forgot about that.
He sounded like he's done though. Like it wasn't like every other. I don't even know. Like every other month or so, he's going. And I don't know. It just seemed like he's done.
You know, you don't need
Nikki
him.
versus Roman Reigns eventually.
You say let him go.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's go back to the Bianca Bailey. Good match. Great match. I'm glad to see Bianca look strong in that match. I did see a little bit of the rookie mistakes out of her, though. And this is what I mean. People might not agree. I do not think she should do, every time she does a move, she does this thing. And I had this problem with Ricochet, too, where she caters to the fans. She doesn't need to take a pose after every single move she does. I think that takes away from the story she's trying to tell in the ring.
That's interesting. I think that's just... She tries to do that, like old school babyface thing. You know how when back in the day, babyface when they did something, they would taunt with the fans and stuff like that. I can see what you mean. Didn't bother me so much, but I can see what you mean.
I'll tell you this, and this is not going to be this is going to be a very unpopular review here, but Bianca Belair
you mean like that?
Has a little Hulk Hogan in her, bro. She's got a little Hulk Hogan going on where she's like,
brother?
Like she's in the crowd. She's up in the ring, like smacking that ass. You know what I mean? And that's because
I remember when Hogan smacked his ass.
Charismatic, and she has a little bit of talent, but she's really riding that crowd to make that get her over. So we'll see.
I remember when Bobby Lashley was smacking his ass.
I'm not gonna lie. When Niko said this, he's doing the thing like Hogan. Now I have in my head Hogan smacking his ass, and I did not ask for that at all.
Brother, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, he just,
dude. You ain't got nothing on me, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, there you go.
It's Steven until
all
Sunday.
Right,
UPR champion. That's fine.
Yeah,
Goldberg is 53.
Old as fuck.
Goldberg's 53.
Hate Goldberg, dude. What a not deserving doucher.
Ooh.
I'm just here to start fights. Bring it on.
Let's talk about my favorite segment of the night on SmackDown tonight, and that is something I've been looking forward to throughout the entire year. I heard rumors about it. It actually showed up, and it was here tonight. That's the first ever Sammy Awards. I was looking forward to this because I knew that this was a prestigious award, and there was only one person who deserved some of these awards, and he actually did get it. Comeback of the year, Sami Zayn. Match of the year, his match with AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship at Clash of Champions. He should have won Superstar of the Year. Unfortunately, that went to Big E. I think Sami Zayn was robbed. What's your thoughts, Mr. Extra? You go first.
Nah, how's he robbed of being an Entertainer of the Year or Wrestler of the Year? I mean, what did he do that was so great? He stood out half the year, and then he's been a great complainer at the end of the day. That's all he's been doing is whining and bitching. But how many matches has he actually had this year? 4?
He's had a few.
No, he had a few. Because I think when he go out in April, right?
He's had like 4 or 5 matches.
He won the Intercontinental Championship from Braun Strowman.
March and February.
He defeated Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania and retained his championship. He beat AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy to retain because he should have never lost it the Intercontinental Championship. Then he defeated Jeff Hardy shortly after that to retain the Intercontinental Championship. He beat Big BE, the man who they gave the championship to last week.
Niko.
Who the heck is Niko? That's Jeff Lippman. He's also a part of UPR.
Jeff.
UPR Wednesday.
Tag team partner.
Jeff.
Sammy is cool.
I got 400,000 people following me, man. What's wrong with you? All right.
Yes, congratulations on your TikTok.
I didn't get verified. Stop.
Oh, you on TikTok? Good for you.
I dabble on there a little bit.
Nice.
350,000 followers.
Oh, this guy's a big deal.
Jordan AEW.
He didn't inform you. He was just like, "Hey, you're on the fucking with some dude." Come on.
I didn't tell him. You were going to be on now. Just in case you were going to.
I just do marketing for a living, so I got to be on.
I thought you were going to do Sami Zayn.
So we'll give Sami Zayn 10 matches for the year. He should not be beating Big E. Big E's story of breaking up from New Day and venturing out into his own career and eventually potentially winning the Royal Rumble and going on to the main event at WrestleMania is a much better storyline. And winning Entertainer of the Year is a much better thing to have on his plate to set up that storyline than it is for Sami Zayn. Period.
You
see that's like checkmate right there, where she's like, checkmate.
Oh, there you go.
Jeff want to let you know that he has 197.
Niko Extra, add me on TikTok. You have 197? Awesome, bro. Niko Extra, 2 X's. Follow me, I'll follow you back.
Speaking of Big E, I'm not sure who actually, and I know Ron did, but I'm not exactly sure if you saw Niko talking smack last week with Big E and Paul Heyman.
He put him over. Yeah,
he put him over.
He said you're going to do amazing things in the next 10 to 15 years, and it's absolutely true. Big E got sidelined somehow along the way because he was Dolph's sidekick and getting a push, and then he just got engulfed in New Day, and I love New Day. And they've been, I went and saw them somewhere and I waited in line for them to meet them. But at the end of the day, he might have deserved a little better than that because of his potential. That guy can bench 500 pounds. You know what I mean? Not many people on this earth can do that, let alone in WWE. So
585.
The dude could do his fucking splits.
Yeah.
The guy he's
the whole package, honestly. The whole package.
Everything. He's got muscles. He's got look. He's got charisma. Give him the fucking belt now. Stop. But I understand the WrestleMania build. I think Big E, if Brock isn't scheduled, because that's the match everyone wants to see, then Big E is the next viable contestant to challenge Roman at the WrestleMania. And
it's not going to be Brock versus Roman again. I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I
think he said Rock. He said Rock.
Oh, Rock.
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah, but I don't.
They're not doing Rock.
But I don't. Yeah,
The Rock's
this guy.
Smackdown.
Oh my. So
Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania.
I was asked that by someone today. Like, do you reckon that Roman and Rock going to have a match? And I said no, because I just think one, Rock's too busy. Two, I don't think, and also two, I don't know what movies are coming out or whatever, but him getting in the ring, chances of him getting hurt, delaying movies, I just don't see it being
contracts for big players for
contract.
Yeah, Vince can't keep up with that shit.
No.
$160 million last year. What the hell?
Yeah, so I just don't see it. I think he's supposed to be on talks. Mm-hmm.
Well, yes.
He's dropped a couple little carrots, though. He's saying he'd be honored to put Roman over. He's saying that he doesn't approve of. Yeah, he's sticking with the storyline. He said he doesn't approve of Jay and Roman fighting.
I love that.
This is amazing.
I don't see Rock coming back unless there's fans. And that's the thing.
Big E's the guy. Big E's the face.
That's the waste.
Big E is the face to put over right now. He has to win the Rumble, and he has to go face Roman as top face versus top heel in the match.
Right now, Big E, he's in a feud right now with Sami Zayn. So you think Sami pretty much beats Big E. Big E goes to the Royal Rumble, wins that, and he just goes straight to the WWE Championship without having a IC title run?
Ooh, it'd be nice if he beat Sammy, got an IC title, won the Royal Rumble, and we had a little Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan action, title for title. Fucking awesome. That's what Roman needs to I could see Roman being put your title against my title. He needs something like that because let's be honest, he's not creative, so he needs a little motivation. And if he's I got this thing, but at the head of the table, I need that too, and he's pointing at the belt.
That would be interesting.
Going over.
That would be actually really interesting.
You never
pretty
do
much-
what I want, man. It's going to be
No one.
Brock Lesnar versus, or no, Goldberg.
No one wants to see that. No one wants to see this.
Well, Goldberg
No one
versus
wants to
Roman
see
Reigns.
No one wants to see that either. No one wants to see Seth versus Roman. No one wants to see at WrestleMania. I don't want to see Seth
What do
versus
you want
Roman.
to see, consultant?
If I were to pick anybody on the SmackDown roster right now to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, it actually would be Big E.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think he's
and
the only
there's
one-
Nobody close. Nobody's even close.
That's what I was
Has
gonna
to
say.
be Big E.
Who do you have after? Because Kevin Owens is not winning the championship on.
No.
Well, the interesting thing is whoever wins the Royal Rumble could go on either side. So Bray Wyatt, Fiend could win. You know what I mean? And potentially go. I mean, there's only a couple people that could really face Roman, and you believe they'd beat him.
The Fiend,
Right.
Drew McIntyre,
Right.
Drew, Fiend.
and there's
There's
one more.
not many.
Oh, Keith Lee, maybe.
I believe Keith Lee.
Keith-
I mean,
well,
I heard,
put
and
Keith
you
Lee
know,
on SmackDown?
word sheets. They said
If
Keith,
Keith Lee wins the Royal Rumble, he can challenge Roman Reigns. Now I know Roman has a
he
lot of
would go
respect.
against Drew. Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you think Drew and Roman both keep the belt all the way to Mania?
I
Yeah,
think
without a doubt.
Roman. I'm not so sure about Drew, but Roman, I see that.
I'm positive Drew because who can he lose to? And that person has the title.
Orton
of WrestleMania.
again, Edge. Orton or Edge.
No.
No, but and even at TLC, I believe Drew is winning, but you can also take the title off him with him not getting pinned at TLC because it's a TLC match, right? Like a straight up
Yeah,
TLC.
They're not
You
giving that
gotta-
title to AJ. It's no point.
Mm-hmm.
Drew is your guy. Drew is who you put the money behind. Drew, they just had him lose to Randy Orton and then have this whole big thing where he won the title again. And the moment that honestly was bigger than his WrestleMania moment. There's no point in taking the title off of him a month later. He's going to have that title to WrestleMania. There's
Yeah.
nobody on Raw that can beat him.
Drew's come
Yeah,
such
I'm
a long
trying
way.
to-
I mean,
Huh?
Drew's come such a long way.
He has. He really has.
And
Like,
and it's
he's
sad that
matured
he
in
has to have
blood.
his run that he's having right now. It's sad that he's having this during this era where there are no fans really for him to enjoy.
I
And
would
the
have
fact
popped hard
that
as
he's
hell at
declined
Mania.
so-
I had really good tickets to Mania, and
Yeah.
I would have seen him put Brock. Oh, that would have been so good. But yeah,
It would have, and the crowd would have popped big for him because he was getting over it. And those first few months when he was doing the Claymore and he was doing 3, 2, 1, and then he
the
would hit it.
Rumble. How over was he at the Rumble?
Oh, he was big time. We were at the bar here, and they popped big for him. They popped really big. I mean, I wasn't there, but they popped really
I
big.
didn't. I was very upset.
Oh,
AJ
Did you
versus
lose a
Roman.
bet?
I could see
Isn't
AJ
that why you
Styles
lost
and
a
the
bet?
Giant. AJ and the Giant would be good shit, actually. Good
No.
call, Mike.
The bet was that Ricochet was supposed to be the one to eliminate Brock, and I said hell no. And then Steven was supposed to buy me a drink if Ricochet not eliminate Brock Lesnar. And he says that he shouldn't have to buy one because technically Ricochet did eliminate Brock Lesnar because he gave him that low blow that allowed Drew McIntyre to Claymore Brock out of the ring.
yeah, I never settled that too after all these months. Huh?
No, I forgot about that when I was up there for Survivor Series. He owes me a drink. Ricochet did not eliminate Brock Lesnar. That was the last big moment Ricochet had ever. Well, that's not true. When he beat, I think it was Cedric Alexander or something like that. So the Hurt Business can leave him alone. That was a big moment. But I think I see Ricochet join. Oh, God, David's not here yet. We're talking about Ricochet. He must be having an ejaculation moment. But I see Ricochet
backstage?
joining. He's joined. No, he left. He's not. He dipped. But I see Ricochet joining the
Retribution.
Retribution.
Okay, so like that, and I guess it would be good to give him something to do because they haven't done anything with him. I know a lot of people, they always get on him about his mic skills. I've always just enjoyed his ability in the ring, but Retribution is it's a dead brand to me. It don't have no legs, no momentum. Don't they lose like every other week? They remind me of the Putty Putties from Power Rangers. They always get their ass
just
kicked.
won. They just won, I think, a week or two ago. I was actually
Matter
surprised.
of fact, no, you're right because the dude, I forget his name, but he did pin Ricochet. But I'm just saying, it's just an embarrassment to the Jacks. Yeah, it's just I would hope not. It is an embarrassment, Slapjack. It's terrible, but just no momentum going for them. Just nothing going for them. But I guess it would help Ricochet. But I wouldn't do it. I just personally wouldn't do it.
Jinder Mahal should not win the Royal Rumble. Ever.
Jinder Mahal. I like
Brock
Jinder
Lesnar
Mahal.
cannot
Dude.
win
That entrance
Triple
he
H.
had when he had the carpet
The title.
right out before him and he had the belt,
When he-
like for a minute,
yeah.
he was hot.
When he won the world title, he had a fire entrance. I will give him
Right.
that. I
That
wouldn't
shit
say-
was hot, dude. When the entrance would like appear, the carpet would appear before him and he'd walk out and he was diesel
Yeah.
as hell, roided
All
up.
right. All right,
Yeah,
then
dude.
he gets to the ring and everything.
Yeah, I
was
was gonna
hearing
say.
him with-
I was gonna say. I don't think his title ring was memorable at all.
The
I
title
think
ring was horrible, but
It
his
was
entrance
bad.
was good.
No, but that,
However, I will
was
say this.
memorable.
I will say this: the Jinder Mahal, when he does return, I'm going to be really excited because I do want to see that match between him and Drew McIntyre. I think it should happen at the pay-per-view in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania to
Weren't
get
they in
Drew
3
over there. But I would like to see that happen, and I do find it amazing that one thing I'll say about Drew's title runs, he's had a lot of personal connections to a lot of these superstars that he's wrestled. Being friends with like Keith Lee, Sheamus is definitely coming up. Dolph Ziggler had a personal connection with. Jinder Mahal comes back, he's going to have a personal connection with. They had to bring back Keith freaking Slater for a
That's what
second.
I'm gonna say. He had that small. Mhm.
Yeah, so Drew McIntyre has been in business a lot longer than his, you would think because of his age. But he's been in business so long that he's wrestled so many different people and befriended so many people. And he's, despite his demeanor, he's actually a pretty decent guy.
How can Elvis be so out of touch that he thinks Jinder, Brock, or Triple H is gonna
Elvis, since we've known Elvis, which has been UPR's inception, Elvis is the only thing Elvis has been in touch with is himself in the toilet. Look, I can't answer that question. He
so
doesn't
out
know
of
what he's
touch?
talking
That's
about.
crazy. Triple H, like what?
Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey come back
Well,
and
Ronda
shout
Rousey-
Triple H is pretty much retired.
I sure
I don't
hope
think
so.
so.
He probably don't.
I don't think Ronda Rousey come back face.
I think that's what the women division is lacking a little bit. I think they
Yeah.
miss a Ronda Rousey. I would like
That
to
name
see
is
Ronda
big.
Rousey was not bad.
She wasn't.
I don't think
She
I
wasn't.
think people did not appreciate Ronda Rousey for what she was when she was with the company. She was getting eyes on the product because let's be real, she was a really big name in UFC. She
Absolutely.
actually wrestled decent matches. She didn't really have that many bad matches. Okay, I mean, yeah, there were a lot. They were very choreographed. I heard they practice, but they were decent matches. I still say to this day, Nia Jackson's best match was against Ronda Rousey. All right, Ronda Rousey's worst match in my immediate memory was actually her WrestleMania main event, and I don't necessarily blame her for that. So
I just looked up her Instagram. She's got 13.2 million followers. Her Twitter has 3.5 million. I mean, her reach is farther than anyone could ever imagine as far as popularity goes. And when she tweets that I'm fighting on SmackDown against fucking Bianca Belair, that's going to be so big news for Bianca Belair, not for Ronda Rousey. That she actually, even though she's going to win and in nice fashion, it still is respectable for Bianca to be able to be in the ring with someone who's a legitimate UFC champion. So I want her back. I think she's hot. I think she's awesome, and I enjoyed her matches. And this is what I enjoyed about her. I enjoyed that she was not supposed to be good, and she was actually pretty decent. She wasn't great, but she was decent, dude, and she put in work to be okay.
Yeah, she held her own when she was in the ring. I didn't think she had too many. She didn't embarrass herself. I don't think anyone sat here. No, I don't think she ever embarrassed herself.
And the way the wrestling fans treated her,
Not embarrassed herself at
very
all.
upset at the way wrestling fans treat her. They just booed her because, outsider. Understand and respect when somebody is still in there doing what they like to do because she was a wrestling fan. It's not like she was just doing it because she wanted the money. She actually did enjoy it. But I think she's a little soured on the product right now because of the way she was treated. WrestleMania 34 was a crap show. All right, it really was not a good WrestleMania at all.
My advice to Mad Dog is stop reading the dirt sheets, my man.
Yeah,
Ralph ain't coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, that's what made me say that. I don't see her. And if Ronda does come back, I feel like the money match is Ronda and Becky. I mean, that was the problem with last year's WrestleMania. They wanted to. They try to squeeze.
She's not a kid. She's not wrestling at WrestleMania. Like you're not going to see her by then. Probably, I don't think you do.
If she this year's WrestleMania?
You think you'll see her by WrestleMania?
No. I don't think so. Not that by this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the only reason I would say for her to come back is to have that match with Becky.
Mikey, Tessa's racist. She can't join anything.
Huh?
Tessa Blanchard can't join Raw or AEW because she's racist. She said
I've heard about those things, but I was just saying if Ronda do come back, because
that's the only reason.
What for
Tessa?
For Tessa to come
in Raw right now.
I'm surprised if Tessa do come back, she doesn't go to AEW.
I mean, she would be a star in either show right now. Physically.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She was the Impact World Champion. What the hell? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was the Impact World Champion. That's crazy. Like,
I remember that. Yeah, and she had to drop it too. I think she dropped it somewhere in the summer, returned it back or something like that.
ridiculous. But anyways,
If Tessa goes anywhere, it's definitely gonna be AEW.
I was gonna say because of the connection with her father. That's why I was sitting there saying when she got
That's
to
why.
AEW.
right.
They'll take that gamble and take her. WWE. I mean, I think. Don't get me wrong. They definitely talked about it. They've discussed it, but they probably don't think it's the right move for them right now. But I would love to see Tessa come to WWE. I think that would be a really good shot in the arm for both
think
parties.
about
Where would you put her?
Rhea Ripley, Tessa and Bianca Belair, Tessa and Charlotte Flair, Tessa and Sasha Banks.
I
Tessa,
think that's the match right there. They're gonna try to get is Tessa against Charlotte. But where would you guys, if she goes to WWE, what brand would you put her on?
NXT, she comes out and challenges like Tony Storm this week would be amazing, dude.
She
Tony
needs to
Storm
start in
and
NXT.
she like comes out and slaps Tony Storm upside her big old booty.
She needs to start in NXT. Unfortunately, NXT. There used to be a time where every takeover they would bring in, and during sometime in the middle, they would bring in somebody and put them in the front row. And they have not really had a legitimate star to do that with since I want to say Riddle.
It's been bro, remember he was like, "Yo, bro." You know, like they were like, I was like, "Oh shit!" And then
He's in New York. Yeah.
Walter
I think the last person they did that with was the manager. I forgot his
They
name.
did it with Ember, didn't she? Didn't Ember Moon in the crowd last month?
No.
No,
She came
helmet.
out.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, she came out, but they haven't had the last biggest star they had to.
Wasn't it Riddle?
Was not in the arena like that was a Riddle, but the last biggest star to come to NXT was Karrion Kross. I like that. They haven't brought. They used to bring in star power over and over, from indies and stuff like that all the time. They have not really had a chance to do that. A lot of indies been going to AEW. AEW picks them out and they pluck them out. The NXT, in my opinion, is lacking star power. Raw and SmackDown kind of plucked a lot of them. And I told Niko that's one of the reasons they go to NXT a lot. They always say, "Hey, Chris, you going?" And I say, "No, I'm not going." Because one, because of COVID. Two, I don't find it that interesting. I find it really boring. Anytime that I go and I turn on my TV and I see somebody like Jake Atlas, I'm not intrigued. Jake Atlas is not it to me. All right. And I'll even go further. And I know people hate this. I'm not a fan of Shotzi Blackheart. I just don't see it. And I'm not paying. Well, I'm not paying. I'm not going to an event.
You can kind of promo though. You could say that about her, right? A promo.
I think she's a character, but she's.
Do you watch every week? I know you you and I bleed NXT, but do you watch NXT every week still?
I haven't seen a whole NXT episode in 2 weeks.
Really? Wow.
Finn Balor is very popular. I wish he'd bring back the Demon King. That is a special gimmick. Should only be back once a year.
And honestly, I think the stuff Finn has been doing lately, he don't need to be the Demon King right now. He don't need to. He don't need that.
O'Reilly, that's like good shit as far as Vince's would go. But that's Triple H and Shawn Michaels running.
Yeah.
Like,
I was actually because they did have a good match at TakeOver. I mean, it didn't live up to what I really, really thought that match could have been. But yeah, and that's something I had to be reminded. Someone had to remind me, like, he had a broken jaw. I was like, oh, right, I forgot about that.
2 places, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a physical match. Kyle O'Reilly has, because I really do like him. I used to love Undisputed Era, but I was telling the Mark Victor Rodriguez yesterday, the problem I find with Undisputed Era right now is I think, and I never thought I would hear myself say it, they're kind of stale. And they need a shot in the arm, and turning babyface was not really that shot. I hate, it's not something you usually hear. Undisputed Era should have been called up. I just don't understand why they called up some of the names they did call up, and I would have kept them in NXT and brought up the Undisputed Era. I thought it was time for them to get called up. They did everything they could do in NXT. There's not much more they can do.
They screwed up and dropped the ball by not calling me up, and now they need to do some kind of beatdown where they need to beat out Adam Cole and have Kyle O'Reilly take over or something. It needs to change for them. Because what's going on right now is just cheesy. That shit ain't gonna work. Where they're just like.
I get it though. The baby.
I think Fish was injured at War Games or something.
Fish is injured. O'Reilly. Someone needs to turn.
See, and that was the thing. I was actually thinking at War Games. I thought Kyle was gonna turn. I was just sitting there thinking maybe he's the one who. Because I figured someone's gonna turn. I just didn't know who. I didn't think Bobby Fish. I wasn't sure about Adam. Adam Cole seemed like the guy, but. I thought it was Swerve. It has to be Adam. It has to be Adam Cole. I get it.
Adam Cole gets screwed and then turn. And then
it's just like They just had their feud in Ring of Honor. Adam Cole was the heel, and Kyle O'Reilly's the babyface. It makes more sense to go with that angle.
Bobby Fish has 0% chance of winning the Royal Rumble.
What if Bobby wins?
I'm
think he made Bobby Lashley.
Lashley, you better be talking about Lashley.
Bobby Lashley could win the Royal Rumble. I'm like Bobby Fish. Well, we're talking about fucking NXT. We're talking about.
No, I get you. No, Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley winning the Royal Rumble. I mean, Bobby Lashley is good.
The SmackDown portion of this episode is over. It's free for all now. You can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah,
Lashley, I will say this: since his return, this is the hottest streak Bobby Lashley's been on. And
I agree.
Doing, thanks to MVP, but he's been doing a phenomenal job. He's been looking ever so dominant, and I'm hoping, don't read the dirt, don't believe everything the dirt sheets tell you. I'm hoping they're really building to that match with Brock Lesnar. I really do.
You don't think it's too late for it then?
Oh, no. No, it's not. Bobby Lashley, if you pay attention, has not lost a match since he had that match against Drew McIntyre. Has not lost a match.
Good eye. Didn't even notice that.
All. And when he wins, he looks dominant. Even when they do the multi-man matches, he's barely taking a beat down. Normally, Sheldon and Cedric will take a beat down, then he'll come in, he clear a ring.
Absolutely.
Until they do that spot that they always do with big man in WWE that I can't stand, where somehow he gets ran into a ring post. I can't stand that spot. Brock Lesnar loves that spot. He's lifting him up, and then he's running, and then they fall. So, but you know what? Don't say I can't sit here and say that with WWE. That could be a Brock Lesnar thing because I know a lot of wrestlers had their spots. Ric Flair had the Ric Flair drop.
Brad would run through the corner. He would run chest burst into the corner. Yeah, right. I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Triple H did his little thing where he hooks his arm and flies over the top rope because somebody threw him with such velocity. Shawn Michaels did a thing where he flips over and then flips back down. I mean, everybody has a little spot. Undertaker had the little leg thing.
Yeah. The leg drop on the apron.
Wasn't a leg drop.
He'll walk the ropes.
He'll walk the rope, but when he's trying to make the other person look strong, he'll run, and the other person will duck, and then his leg will hook over the top.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it. He would miss the big boot on like the turnbuckle of the ropes. I get you.
Yeah. People have their little thing. So
I gotta ask this because you was talking about the Bobby and Brock match, which is cool. We were talking about like who's the number one contender for Drew. Do you see Bobby getting another chance at that actually get? Because I could kind of see him. I could see him with the championship, but is he the one who takes out? Is he the one who takes on Drew?
If Drew makes it to WrestleMania and survives, because I don't see two new champions at WrestleMania, Universal and World. If he survives, then yes, I do see a possibility. If they had the Brock-Bobby Lashley match, which they probably won't, but if they had that match at WrestleMania and Bobby wins and Drew wins, yeah, I see Bobby taking that title off of Drew.
Oh, crazy, man. Are you kidding me? Bobby Lashley is not facing anyone at the main event at WrestleMania. He's a great wrestler. And he's gotten better. He's 15-2 in Ultimate Fighting, or I know he's in Bellator, but in MMA. But his personality fucking sucks, and he needs to have MVP next to him to cut promos, and the whole team does. Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, and Bobby Lashley all suck at cutting promos, and that's why MVP's there. He doesn't want to be there. He was supposed to retire.
He don't want to be there. I honestly think he likes being there.
He has to cut promos. I heard him retire a year ago, but he's like, "This is my last match. I'm done." Now he's having to carry these fools because they can't cut promos.
He did say after the Rumble, after he had that match. He had the match. He had that match with Ray. He said he's retired, and he was still here. I was actually surprised.
Because but even still. They need him to carry the promo ship.
The amazing thing about that is, we talk about Bobby Lashley and his improvement. I want to give a shout out to Cedric Alexander, who I thought also has developed a little bit of improvement over the last couple of months. He's developed personality.
He did.
Yeah.
He got a lot more aggression.
Cockiness attitude. I like it.
Cedric used to bore me. He always could wrestle, but he used to bore me
in the ring.
He used to bore me to tears whenever he talked. So I'm happy to see him actually improving. And I say this, I know the ratings aren't reflecting it right now, and I know it's the cool thing to say how much Raw sucks, but I sit here and say Raw is actually a little bit better than people give it credit for. Do I think it's as good as SmackDown right now? Do I think it's as good as it's in heyday? Hell no. But it is not as unentertaining, for lack of a better word.
All right, let me just stop. Hold on. You get The Fiend, you get Drew McIntyre, you get Randy Orton, you get Matt Riddle, you get Jeff Hardy, you get Keith Lee, and you're still pissed off. You keep going. You get New Day, you get AJ Styles, you
got
get
talent.
Sheamus, and you're pissed off. Hurt Business, Retribution, even though they're cheesy. Like there's so many people on Raw, and people just hate it because you know what? People suck.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that's not me being a WWE mark. I'm just saying Raw is stacked. Raw is stacked, and the only problem I have with Raw is the fact that it's 3 hours. They cut it to 2. SmackDown is so much easier to digest. If Raw cut it to 2 hours, it's a little easier. It's just too long. People have been saying that for years. It's been 3 hours for 8 years now. It doesn't seem to go back to 2 anytime soon, but I really wish it would because I just think it's way, way too long.
And I think for most fans, I mean, some of it might be, you know, what they see on the shows and whatever. And sometimes the writing you can sit here and it's questionable, and I get that. But them 3 hours is just so hard. Like sometimes I really try to watch because I'm a wrestling fan. I think when you're in your 30s and you've been a wrestling fan for this long, you're not going to stop.
I mean, I watched it. Yeah, I'm just
but it's so hard to deal with those 3 hours. It's very hard. By like 10 o'clock, I've already tapped. I've tapped out. I said I'm trying. And like you said, and those were great points because you point out all the positives. Like you have your AJs, you have your Jeff Hardys. I like the Hurt Business. I mean, they really got some.
Look at that picture of Jeff with the girl there. That's hot.
I miss you so much, Jeff. I wish you was here.
That's his lady friend. And I'm sure she would love to hear how much you miss her.
I miss Jeff, but I'll see you Wednesday, best friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap this up. We're going into our last 5-minute segment here after a brief, small commercial break. Stay with us.
And then he's facing Angelico, who's accompanied by Jack Evans.
H2O.
Yeah, and no, it's the Hybrid 2, not H2O.
Oh.
I call them H2H for month, as I said earlier. So it's not just.
But don't H2O sound like this really cool 2000 boy band? Because don't you do that for Retribution? They did the Backstreet Boys. Wouldn't H2O be like UFO was? I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I lost myself in that.
No, that song will do it to you. No, that song will do it. Because I was going to say, am I the only one? Yeah. Am I something to all? Yeah.
Okay. We now we know our karaoke.
Yeah, everybody. Oh, hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Bro, no way, man. That was not fun. Why would you take a 5-minute break an hour and 2 minutes into this shitty show?
Because I forgot about it. Okay, so I got bills.
I love you, but damn, bro. Really? 5-minute break? Oh my god.
We have that wasn't even 5 minutes, it was 57 seconds.
You ever see the show? Wrap it up.
Speaking of which, we actually do have merchandise. We actually do have shirts coming to y'all next week. We'll be talking more about it. UPR is fine. Can Niko do that? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here on Unpopular Reviews. Ask us any questions you want for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and we'll answer them right now. Good night, hugs and kisses to Maine Marie. Oh, that's right. Next week is Christmas.
It is
1 week away. I hope everybody's
Merry
ready.
Christmas, y'all.
Are you listening to Riddle's theme song in there? Like, what do you
want to hear it?
Nah, I don't.
This guy.
You know what's funny?
Let's
close out the show.
Available to you at UPR for $9.99. Get your bro.
Our good friend Matt Riddle always talks about, because he's telling me about his segments, and he's always talking about how much he's enjoying these bro segments. Even though I tell him I think they're crazy, stupid sometimes.
Oh, he
likes them. He likes them. He's like, dude, I can just be myself, and I just go out there. You know
how lucky he is to be himself. Like many people don't get to be themselves on their show. He really is being himself. He's out there having
it's organic, very organic. You can tell that's
really hard to get in the WWE. For him to do pull that bro nut, because that bro nuts is his idea, and so was the giving people a SmackDown a name and shit. like giving everyone grumpy and all that. That was his
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
And
Okay.
to be like, yeah, go with it. That's awesome, dude. Like,
And he's always talking about his rabbit. That's him. He's just putting it over. That's what he does. So he's having a good time just going out there and being just like, the controversy over his name change a couple months ago.
Yes, I remember you from TikTok. No, I know.
So when they dropped Matt from his name, everybody was the whole, social media was an uproar. Oh, they killed his name. Why they do that and stuff like that? And he was like,
buried. Hashtag buried.
Yeah, he likes being called Riddle. He prefers being called Riddle. He said that's what he's been called his whole life, and he had no problem with it. He was good. He was happy with it. So people just need to learn to let some things go.
Oh man, wrestling fans get like heated up quickly. Like how you talked about Bianca eating the pin tonight and whatnot. There's people sitting there saying, "Oh, they killed her. They just buried her." And it's like, dude, relax. Let the story build. Matter of fact, 2011, Christian won the title. Lost it 5 days after he won it, and the wrestling internet world blew up. And they were already like, "Oh, look, this is terrible. They buried Christian. This is awful." Sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath and just go okay.
It was actually 2 days, and they did bury Christian.
Right. I remember 2 days, but it was a long-term story. Yeah, you're right.
Christian made the best of it. Christian made the best of it. That's what he did. He turned it around to a positive to get him into a main event slot. But realistically speaking, they were saying, we don't trust you to be world champion. We're going to move this guy over. We'll give you your moment because of Edge's retirement angle.
No, I get that. Absolutely.
We're going to drop this title and give it to a real guy, which is Randy Orton. But Randy Orton will tell you, he found those some of his best matches he's ever had.
I've heard. I know. Yeah.
So Randy Orton has a lot, and that's why Christian was in that angle earlier with Drew McIntyre when they brought the Legends, because Randy Orton has a lot of respect for Christian. He really thought he learned a lot from Christian. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for us tonight. Niko, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you having here. You can watch Niko whichever day they choose on Behind the Ropes Media. Yeah, just Google him. Or
who knows what show I'll be on next week with the other shows. Yeah.
Hopefully you'll come back to another UPR episode. Bad Guy Jack, all the best luck in the world to you. Thank you so much for what you've done for Smackdown for the past.
Oh, no problem. I thought I was getting let go on air. I was scared. I was like, "Thank for all you did." I'm like, "What? I'm getting let go?" But no. Right, it's my last day on SmackDown.
I'm here, man. I'm replacing you. Get the hell out of here.
Oh no!
I wish it was that.
I'm just kidding.
I wish it was that easy. I would love to have Niko on the show, but he stuck with Behind the Ropes until he realizes New Jack hasn't been released
you
yet.
Introduced me to you clowns.
That's true. I did. I was honored to meet Niko Extra. He's such a popular social media influencer. I was like, oh, have a shot. Those are good times, man.
You remember sitting at the house and me saying, "Hey, this thing TikTok's getting big. You should check it out."
I did, and
fuck it. I'll just sit here.
We are on TikTok. We are on TikTok. We have a TikTok.
Good.
We just don't use it. I need to get somebody to run that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get Decap to run it. I don't know. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, so Ron, good luck to you on Wednesday night NXT AEW with Jeff Lippman and Willie Boozer Jones. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, I will be here every single week bringing you all the SmackDown action with the returning instigator, Dylan Kaplan.
Ooh. Yes, what a Christmas gift.
Yes, a little salt and pepper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here. We will see you next time at Unpopular Reviews. Good night, everybody.
Ah!